Now, this week, people from all over the world have gathered here in London to protest at the G20 Summit of World Leaders. While presidents and prime ministers have argued about the best way of saving the global economy, demonstrators have been demanding something else: fundamental change in the way we run the world. They say no more profit before people, no more raping of the planet, and perhaps most fundamentally of all, no more capitalism, which they claim has failed. We've seen banks being attacked, and bankers being hanged, symbolically of course, and burnt by activists, determined to confront the police and the system in all their might. So what do we make of these protesters and their message? Do they have a point? G20, time for a brave new world? Right, okay. To our first question again then, who supported the protesters? Yes. Okay, can you tell me why you supported the protesters?
I mean, I don't believe that the extreme, say, declaration that capitalism is completely dead, but I do believe that there's a need for fundamental reform, and that the capital system needs to be made to serve the people and brought into line, regulated. The rich need to be taxed a lot more, and there has to be a lot more punishment for governments that pollute and have a lot of greenhouse gases. There has to be far more government intervention and a far more popular involvement in the economy. Socialism, I still believe, is a long-term aim.
But when you looked at the protest, you saw the way they were dressed and the carnival type dancing in the streets and people wearing all kinds of clothes. Did you say to yourself, yes, they represent me, or did you think, well, I'm glad they're out there, somebody needs to talk? What did you think when you looked at them?
I mean, I think that I'm glad they represent kind of my feelings, because I'm angry that people have been profiteering while low-end wages have been going down and money's been going out. Libraries have closed down, schools have closed down, and so I do feel that passion and I do feel that anger. Though I myself.
Did you go down there?
No.
You didn't. I'm looking at your face. You're now looking nervous.
No, I've just come to
an armchair demonstrator.
I've just arrived in London, so.
Okay.
But I will be at subsequent protests. But
all right.
But I do believe that what we need is kind of green social democracy now. Socialism was a long-term project.
All right. Let's see who else supported the protesters. Tell me what it was like for you.
Well, you say I managed to get out the protest alive. You can hear my voice. I'm talking like this because I spent so much time screaming to the police to calm down last night. Bruises to show. One protester...
You've been injured, are you saying?
Yes, I've been injured. But 10 people were treated for head injuries at climate camp. One person died in the kettle at the Bank of England. We don't know what happened yet. We're appealing for people to keep calm. But as, you know, there are people down there now protesting about that. It wasn't what we expected or anticipated, and our sympathies go out to the man's family.
What did you expect? What did you anticipate when you realised 20 world leaders were coming to London? You knew the security was going to be extremely great, but you felt it was worth taking the risk and going down there to confront the symbols, I suppose, of the free market. But what kind of response did you expect from the authorities?
Well, we believe that now is the time for direct action. You can just march from A to B. But if marching from A to B solved anything, we wouldn't have gone into Iraq and we wouldn't still be there. There were so many things would be better in the world if marching worked. So we decided to just stop the city. We had a protest that came in from different directions. We worked in solidarity with another group. They set up on another road. And we did. We brought the city to a standstill.
Certainly, I don't believe that capitalism is falling or failing. The one unique thing about capitalism as an economic system is that it actually produces a sustained and general rise in the standard of living for the average person out in the street.
Let him speak, and then you can come back on him. A lot of people do agree with that in this country, which is why they come here.
The global economy, since this discovery of roughly liberal capitalism, I'm including everything from Swedish social democracy through to Hong Kong laissez-faire here, as being roughly capitalist and roughly free market, it's produced a 3% growth in GDP, global GDP since 1850. If you chart from the beginning of agriculture in 8000 BC, basically living standards are flat. They're about $600 a year, $800 a year, all the way till 1750. And then you get this great boost. And average living standards for the world now are $8,000 a year, not 800. And of course, we in the richer countries, median income in this country is £23,000 a year. That is the achievement of capitalism.
Very briefly, some people are clapping there. Let me get one or two more points before we finish the programme, very quickly. No, you've already spoken, sir. This gentleman has not spoken. What would you like to say quickly?
In your introduction, you said, are we in the process of forging a brave new world? And
yes,
that's reference to Aldous Huxley's
yes.
novel. But the Brave New World was actually a dystopia. It was based on the opiate of people buying into a visionary idea which wasn't actually consistent with reality.
Okay.
And so
10 seconds, go on.
So
No, you've got to stop. Go on.
Utopia is
I'm the dictator.